Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. This is X. We're back with an InfoSec mashup. This week, week 27 of 2023, we'll just go through the hottest news in the InfoSec world. First, we'll start with our usual recommended reading. So here's a preview or pre-order from Mika Lee's latest book, Acts, Leaks, and Revelation: The Art of Analyzing Act and Leak Data. So it's definitely a book that I will pre-order. Mika's been known in the InfoSec space for some time now. He's written quite a lot of a few things, so definitely a book that I highly recommend. So here, we'll just go through quickly go through the hottest news. Breach forums replacement. So you've probably followed that news some time ago. Breach forum was seized, and it looks like replacement emerges. So we'll see what that will bring next. But yeah, dark web, darknet, still very hot out there, leaking data. MOVEit, yeah, another episode of MOVEit, and another critical flow discovered. So patch if you're using MOVEit, and share the love. A lot of people might want to hear that. Signals, yeah, UK. It's been there for some time now. A lot of people, commenting, rightfully so. So we'll see what comes out of it. And as Meredith says, breaking encryption while preserving privacy. That's kind of a magical thinking. So we'll see. Don't hear too much about Bangladesh. This time it seems that the website leaked citizen data. I've also put in the comment of that newsletter here that actually brought that down. No more data leaking. So quick response from the Bangladesh government there. Pepsi bottling, data breach. So usually, I mean, in these newsletters that I make, there's plenty of data leak. So it's just, I would say, unfortunately, yet another one. This one, the attackers had access to personal information of more than 28,000 individuals. TrueBot, another malware operation there, exploiting vulnerability in a new tricks auditor application. So mainly US and Canada were impacted by this one. Yeah, another China related news. Apps on the Google Play with 1.5 million installs, which is a lot. Collecting excessive data. So again, when you install application, always look at what access it requires. Just look at Threads, the new Meta application. It's kind of crazy how much data they need to actually have you just chat with your buddies. Mastodon, speaking of Threads, alternative, obviously, Federated Universe, Fediverse, security fix. So if you're an admin, patch it. It's quite important fix. Another MOVEit victim, Shell, the Dutch company, energy giant, also affected. Russia testing their network, testing if everything goes down, if they can still survive. So why not? Android fixes, again, always important to keep an eye on that, especially if you're running Google's operating system on your phone. Quite a few press around that. Microsoft bugs again. I'll record them all here, but there's plenty, and you'll see in the next newsletter. Patch Tuesday, which is also very interesting. Solar power station, again, here in the energy sector. The search on Shodan indicates that more than 600 of them are reachable on the open internet. Again, the Japanese-based company Contact is being targeted there. So if you're in Japan and have such solar panel, make sure you check on it. Yeah, this one is in Africa, in Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. They have arrested a suspect linked to the notorious cybercrime gang operator. So this was joint work, Interpol. So one more guy behind bars, I guess. Port of Nagoya ransomware attack. So as I said, malware, ransomware, plenty of these, unfortunately. Here's a tricky one, or a nice one, either nice. High school changes every student's password to change me, and then actually mail every single, I guess, parent or child, which means that anyone can actually have access to anyone's account because the password is the same for everyone. Yep, kind of big fail there. Ransomware, unfortunately, leaking or dumping kids' private files online. Schools and colleges, universities are being targeted more and more, whether it was recent vulnerabilities or in general. So unfortunately, they had a lot of personal information hosted there. Meta, again, famous for not complying to GDPR, which is also one of the reasons why Threads hasn't launched yet in Europe. Yeah, Fujitsu fail in Japan, flaky ID card scheme. Again, data protection here in Sweden, and it's all about Google Analytics this time. So again, Europe going for the US. Threat sharing evolution. That's a good. It's a very nice podcast. IBM Into the Breach. Definitely worth listening to. And how threat sharing has done good over the years. C's warning chaotic devices vulnerability. Yep. Here it's very tricky one. Also remember ex-colleague of mine who's been working on all those medical IoT device and IoT devices. So it's a very interesting space, and you really want to make sure that it's all well protected because and especially in the medical cardiac device, that's an area where you don't want to gamble or mess around with. Expand facial recognition, TSA. Yeah, I guess half surprised there. Here we touch on the bits from Threads and the Meta, and here that was just mentioned earlier about the data that app needs access to, which is kind of scary, and that meme definitely hit the nail on the head there. So yeah, that's a quick roundup. A few other malware cases, data leaks as well here. More than 400,000 Swiss citizens lived there, living abroad. Feel for a lot of individuals impacted. Again, personal data there, magistrates in France. So again, lots of data leak. And here's an interesting chart. Definitely advise to read the entire article about the foundation models there and how do they comply with the draft of the EU AI Act. So pretty interesting read, definitely. Microsoft denies data breach. Yeah, not surprising. Yeah, more hacks here. More flows. Samsung needs patching. Third-party contractor software exploded in attack. Yeah, that we see more and more. Through service providers. Attackers gain access to big companies through their service providers, which who have, unfortunately, weak security. Ransom looks quite a nice tool. It's a new tool to monitor ransomware groups, and I follow it on Mastodon there, and then it's nice, because it's a bot, and they just post new news about which group got or posted about their new victims. So kind of cool to follow almost real time, I would say. So yeah, Fortinet still in the news. More bugs. So again, patch or switch vendor. LockBit dominates ransomware world. So it's been found the most active in terms of total numbers of victims from January to May 2023. So not surprising there. Clop, Play, Black Cat, all of the ones that we see a lot in the news. Kind of cool just see numbers associated to that. Airport in Dublin also affected. Again, talking MOVEit here. So plenty of, unfortunately, victims of this MOVEit software vulnerability. Again, WordPress also in the news. It's been some time. OpenAI, and yeah, the privacy debate over data scraping. A lot of lawsuit coming up no later than a few days ago. So somebody filing a lawsuit for using private data to train their model. So yeah, head to the mailing list. InfoSec mashup.centralia.net, and you get to read it or subscribe and sign up to get it popping hot every weekend in your inbox. Thanks everyone, and have a great week.